Hello and welcome back. I'm glad you are here today. You study English every day. You watch videos, you listen to podcasts, you write words in your notebook. You work hard. You really do. But then someone speaks to you in English, a coworker, a stranger, someone in a meeting, and your mind goes blank. Your mouth does not move. The words are somewhere inside you, but they will not come out. You freeze. And after that moment passes, you think to yourself, why? I study so much. Why can I not speak? This lesson is for English learners who are tired of studying and ready to start speaking. Because today, everything changes. Today I'm going to show you exactly how to use ChatGPT and AI tools to practice speaking English every single day, for free, at your own pace, with zero embarrassment. No classroom, no expensive tutor, no waiting until your English is good enough. You are going to start today. By the end of this lesson, you will have a clear system, a real system. 7 lessons, 7 tools, 1 habit that will change the way you speak English forever. And the truth is simple. Stop studying English. Start using it. That is what this lesson is about. Not more grammar, not more vocabulary lists. Using English, speaking English, today. Now, if you are serious about improving your English and you want lessons like this every week, subscribe right now. Hit that button. It takes 2 seconds and it will change what shows up on your screen every week. Let's begin. Here is the truth. You do not have a vocabulary problem. You do not have a grammar problem. You have a practice problem. Think about how you study English. You watch a YouTube video. You read an article. You look at a list of new words. You highlight sentences in a textbook. You take notes. But what do all of these things have in common? You are receiving English. You are not producing it. You are like a swimmer who reads every book about swimming, watches every competition, studies every stroke, but never gets in the water. And then you wonder why you cannot swim. Language scientists call this the difference between input and output. Input is what goes into your brain, listening, reading, watching. Output is what comes out, speaking, writing, using. Most English learners spend 90% of their time on input and almost 0 time on output. That is the real reason you cannot speak. Meryl Swain, a researcher who spent decades studying how people learn languages, found something important. She found that speaking, actually producing language, forces your brain to work in a completely different way. When you speak, your brain cannot hide. It has to find the word. It has to build the sentence. It has to make a decision right now. That pressure is not a bad thing. That pressure is exactly what builds fluency. Benny Lewis learned 12 languages as an adult, not as a child, as a grown man. And his #1 rule was simple. Speak from day 1. Not after 6 months of studying, not after you feel ready. Day 1. He said most people wait until their English is perfect before they speak, but your English will never feel perfect. If you wait for perfect, you will wait forever. So here is the shift you need to make. Stop being a passive learner. Stop sitting back and receiving English. Start being an active speaker. Start producing English every single day, even when it feels uncomfortable. The problem is not your English. The problem is how you practice. And the solution? You are going to use AI. You are going to use ChatGPT. And I am going to show you exactly how. But first, remember this. You will never speak English by studying English. You speak English by speaking English. Stop studying English. Start using it. Think about this. When you want to practice speaking English, what usually stops you? Maybe you are afraid of making mistakes in front of other people. Maybe you do not have a native speaker to talk to. Maybe you feel embarrassed when you forget a word or say something wrong. Maybe you tried talking to someone once and they looked at you with that face, the face that made you want to stop forever. Fear is the #1 enemy of fluency. Not grammar, not vocabulary. Fear. And this is exactly why ChatGPT is different from anything you have tried before. ChatGPT never laughs at you. It never gets impatient. It never looks at you with that face. It does not care if you make 10 mistakes in one sentence. It does not care if you say the same wrong thing 5 times in a row. It is always ready. It is always available. And it costs nothing. Most people think they need a native speaker to practice English. They do not. What they need is a safe space. A place where they can try, fail, fix, and try again without any judgment. Without any embarrassment. Without any cost. ChatGPT is that space. Benny Lewis, the man who learned 12 languages as an adult, always said the same thing. The moment you stop being afraid of mistakes is the moment your language starts to grow. Because mistakes are not failures. Mistakes are the work. Mistakes are how your brain learns. When you speak with ChatGPT, you are not performing, you are practicing. There is a huge difference. A performer needs to be perfect. A practitioner needs to be consistent. Being perfect is not the goal. Showing up every day and speaking, that is the goal. That is all. Now, some people say, but ChatGPT is not a real person. It is not real conversation. And I understand that thought. But here is what I want you to consider. A piano player does not only perform on stage. They practice alone for hours every single day. An athlete does not only compete, they train every day, alone or with a coach. ChatGPT is your training partner, your daily coach. The one who is there at 6 in the morning when no human wants to talk. The one who is there at midnight when you have 10 minutes and nothing else. The point is not that it is perfect. The point is that it is always there. And a language researcher named Stephen Krashen spent his life studying how people really acquire language. Not how they memorize it, but how they truly absorb it. His finding was clear. Language grows when you use it in a meaningful way, when you engage with it. When you are focused and the input, or in this case the conversation, makes sense to you and challenges you just a little. ChatGPT gives you exactly that. Conversation that is meaningful at your level, on your topic, anytime you want. Stop waiting for the perfect partner. You already have one. Stop studying English. Start using it. Let me make this simple. People hear, use ChatGPT to practice English, and they think, okay, but what do I actually say to it? What do I do? Where do I start? That is a fair question, and I'm going to answer it right now. Here are 5 real things you can practice with ChatGPT today. Not tomorrow, today. Number 1. Job interviews. This is one of the most stressful situations for any English learner. You know the language, but the pressure makes everything disappear. So practice it with ChatGPT before the real thing. Tell it, act as an interviewer for a marketing position. Ask me 5 interview questions, one at a time. Then answer out loud, or type your answers. Either way, you are practicing the exact conversation you are afraid of, in a safe space with 0 consequences. Number 2. Small talk. Small talk sounds easy, but for many learners, it is the hardest thing. Weather weekend plans. How was your day? These short conversations feel simple, but they trip people up all the time. Ask ChatGPT to have a small talk conversation with you. Keep it going for 5 minutes. Notice which words come easily and which ones make you stop. Number 3. Telling your own story. This is powerful, and most people never try it. Ask ChatGPT to listen to your story, where you are from, what you do, what your dream is, and then ask it to help you say it better. More naturally, more clearly. You will learn more in 10 minutes of this than in 2 hours of watching grammar videos. Number 4. Getting corrected in real time. This is where AI becomes something no human tutor can match. Tell ChatGPT at the start of your conversation, correct every grammar mistake I make. After each of my messages, show me what I said and how to say it better. Then, just talk. You make a mistake, you see the correction immediately. Your brain registers it. That is the fastest way to fix your weakest points. Stephen Krashen spent decades studying how people truly acquire language. His conclusion was clear. Grammar is not learned by memorizing rules. It is absorbed through meaningful use. When you see your own mistake corrected in context, in a real sentence you actually said, it sticks. It becomes part of you. Number 5. Practicing vocabulary in real sentences. Do not memorize words from a list. Take a word you just learned and tell ChatGPT, use the word determined in a conversation with me. Help me use it naturally. Then, use it 5 times in 5 different sentences. That word is now yours. These 5 things, job interviews, small talk, storytelling, real-time correction, vocabulary in context. All of them are available to you right now for free in the next 10 minutes. The question is not whether you can practice. The question is whether you will. Practice the conversations you are afraid of until you are not afraid anymore. Now think about this. Most people who want to improve their English have the same problem. They do not lack motivation. They lack structure. They open an app, scroll around, do something for 15 minutes, close it, and forget about it by evening. Nothing sticks. Nothing builds. They feel like they are always starting over. The solution is not more motivation. The solution is a simple daily structure. A routine so small and so clear that you can do it even on your worst day. Here is the system. 10 minutes, every day, 3 steps. Step 1. Open. Open ChatGPT and paste your practice prompt. You will get those prompts in the next lesson. For now, just know that it takes less than 30 seconds. You open, you paste, you begin. Step 2. Talk. Speak for 10 minutes. If you are typing, type fast. Do not stop to think too long. Do not edit yourself before you send. The goal is to produce English. Messy, imperfect, real English. Speed matters more than accuracy at this stage. Your brain needs to get comfortable making decisions fast. Step 3. Review. After your session, ask ChatGPT one question. What were my 3 biggest mistakes today, and how do I fix them? Read the answer. Say the correct versions out loud 3 times. Done. Open. Talk. Review. 10 minutes. Every single day. There was a man, I will call him David, who started doing exactly this. Every morning before work, while his coffee was still hot, he opened ChatGPT and talked for 10 minutes. He did not study grammar. He did not watch videos. He just talked. About his day, about his work, about whatever was in his head. After 30 days, he noticed something. He was not translating from his first language anymore. He was thinking in English. Not perfectly, but thinking. And that was the moment everything started to feel different. That is the power of 10 minutes a day. Not 3 hours on Sunday. 10 minutes every single day. Consistency beats intensity, every time, without exception. You do not build a body by going to the gym once a week for 3 hours. You build it by showing up every day, even for just 20 minutes. Language works exactly the same way. 10 minutes every day. That is all it takes. Not motivation, not talent, not the perfect course. Just 10 minutes every day, and ChatGPT waiting for you to speak. If this lesson is helping you, and you want more content like this every week, hit subscribe right now. It is free, it takes 2 seconds, and you will never miss a lesson. Now let's keep going, because the next part is where things get very practical. Here is what most people miss. They open ChatGPT. They stare at the empty box. They type hello and wait. ChatGPT says hello back. And then they do not know what to do next. So they close it and go back to watching videos. The problem is not ChatGPT. The problem is that they did not have a plan. A prompt is your plan. A prompt tells ChatGPT exactly what you need and exactly how to help you. And when you have the right prompt, your practice session runs itself. Here are 3 prompts you can copy right now. Prompt 1, the speaking coach prompt. Type this: I want to practice speaking English. Please have a natural conversation with me about my daily life. After each of my messages, correct any grammar mistakes and suggest a more natural way to say what I said. Keep the conversation going with a follow-up question. That is it. Paste that. Then start talking about your morning, your job, your weekend. ChatGPT will keep the conversation moving and correct you as you go. Every single message you send becomes a mini lesson. Prompt 2. The situation practice prompt. Type this: I want to practice a specific situation in English. The situation is a job interview for an office position. You are the interviewer. Ask me one question at a time. Wait for my answer before asking the next question. After I finish answering, tell me one thing I did well and one thing I can improve. You can change the situation to anything: a doctor's appointment, a phone call with a client, meeting your partner's family for the first time, ordering food, returning a product at a store. Whatever situation makes you nervous, practice it here first. Prompt 3, the vocabulary builder prompt. Type this: I just learned the word persistent. Help me use it naturally in conversation. Start a short dialogue with me where this word comes up. If I use it incorrectly, gently correct me and show me the right way. Do this with 5 new words a week, not 50. 5. Use each one in a real conversation. By the end of the week, those 5 words are yours forever. Now, here is the key thing about these prompts. There is no need to be creative. No need to think of something clever to say. You just copy-paste and start talking. The hardest part of any practice session is starting. These prompts remove that problem. You open ChatGPT, you paste, and you are already in the middle of a conversation before you have time to feel nervous. Repetition through conversation is how language becomes natural, not repetition through memorization. You say a word in a real sentence today, in a slightly different sentence tomorrow, in a completely new context next week, and one day you reach for it and it is just there. Ready, without thinking, no creativity needed. Just copy the prompt and start talking. Stop studying English. Start using it. Hear me on this. There is one mistake that stops more English learners than any grammar error, any vocabulary gap, any accent problem. It is not a language mistake. It is a mindset mistake, and almost everyone makes it. The mistake is waiting. You wait until your English is better. You wait until you feel more confident. You wait until you have more time, more money, more resources, a better course, a better situation. You wait, and you wait, and you prepare, and you prepare, and you never actually speak. You watch videos about speaking. You read articles about confidence. You save prompts you never use. You tell yourself, soon, next week, when I am ready. But here is what I need you to understand. Ready is not a feeling that comes before action. Ready is a feeling that comes because of action. You do not wait until you are confident to speak. You speak, and then confidence follows. A Hungarian woman named Kato Lom learned 16 languages in her lifetime, not as a child, but as an adult. And she believed something that went against everything traditional language teaching said. She believed that the rules of a language are not learned first and used second. They are discovered through use. You speak, you make mistakes, you notice the pattern, and slowly the rule becomes part of how you think. In other words, mistakes are not the enemy of learning. Mistakes are the method. Think about a child learning to walk. They do not study balance theory before they stand up. They stand up. They fall. They stand up again. They fall again. And one day, without deciding to, they walk. Your English works the same way. You speak, you get it wrong, you try again. And one day, without deciding to, you are fluent. But only if you start. The biggest mistake is not making mistakes. It is avoiding them. Most people use fear as a reason to wait, but fear does not go away when you wait. Fear goes away when you act. When you open ChatGPT and type that first sentence, even badly, even nervously, that is when fear starts to lose its power. You are afraid of sounding stupid. ChatGPT does not think you sound stupid. It thinks you are practicing, and that is exactly what you are doing. You are afraid of forgetting words. Good. That feeling of reaching for a word and not finding it, that is your brain building the pathway. Next time the word will be closer. You are afraid of being judged. There is no judge here. There is only you, a screen, and 10 minutes of practice that will make tomorrow slightly easier than today. Confidence does not come before speaking. It comes because of speaking. So stop waiting. Stop preparing to prepare. Open ChatGPT tonight. Paste one prompt. Say one sentence. That is all. Just one sentence. And then say another. Stop studying English. Start using it. Stay with me, because this is where everything comes together. You now know why speaking beats studying. You know why ChatGPT is the perfect practice partner. You know 5 things you can practice right now. You have a 10-minute daily system. You have 3 prompts you can copy tonight. You know the mistake that kills progress and how to avoid it. Now I am going to give you something concrete. A 30-day challenge. Simple, clear, and designed for real life. Not for someone who has 3 free hours a day. 10 minutes, every day, 30 days. Here is how it works. Week 1. Build the habit. Your only goal this week is to show up. Every day, open ChatGPT, paste the speaking coach prompt, and talk for 10 minutes about your day. Do not worry about mistakes. Do not worry about sounding good. Just show up and talk. 7 days, 7 sessions. That is all. By the end of week 1, opening ChatGPT will feel normal. The blank box will not feel scary anymore. You will have already said hundreds of English sentences, more than most learners say in a month. Week 2. Add a situation. Now you add the situation practice prompt once during the week. Pick one situation you are afraid of. A job interview. A phone call. A difficult conversation with a coworker. Practice it with ChatGPT. Do it twice that week. Keep doing your daily 10-minute sessions on top of that. By the end of week 2, you will have practiced a real conversation that used to make you nervous. You will know what words you are missing. You will know exactly what to work on next. Week 3. Own your vocabulary. This week, you add the vocabulary builder prompt. Every day, pick one word you want to own, not memorize, own, and use it in your conversation. 5 new words by the end of the week. Not on a list, in your mouth, in your sentences. By the end of week 3, you will notice something. You are reaching for words faster. The pauses are getting shorter. Your sentences are getting longer. Week 4. Push yourself. This week, you increase the difficulty. Ask ChatGPT to use more complex vocabulary with you. Ask it to challenge your grammar. Ask it to argue with you, disagree with you. Push you to explain your ideas more clearly. Have a real debate. Talk about a topic you care about. Technology, travel, your work, something in the news. This is where fluency starts to feel real. Not perfect, real. I want to tell you about a woman I will call Lynn. She studied English for 5 years. Classes, textbooks, apps, she did everything the traditional way. But when she walked into a job interview and the manager asked her to introduce herself in English, her mind went blank. She got the words out, but they were slow and broken, and she left the room feeling ashamed. That night she found a lesson like this one. She started the 30-day challenge the next morning. She did not study more, she practiced more. Every morning, 10 minutes ChatGPT talking. Job interview prompts, storytelling, vocabulary she actually needed for her field. 3 months later, she walked into another interview. The same question. Tell me about yourself. This time, she did not freeze. The words came, clear, confident, real. She got the job. She did not find a better course. She did not wait until she was ready. She opened ChatGPT and started talking. 30 days, 10 minutes a day. You will not recognize your own English. Let us bring it all together. In this lesson, you learned 7 things. 1. The real reason you cannot speak is not your English. It is how you practice. You have been receiving language for years. It is time to start producing it. 2. ChatGPT is the perfect practice partner. Always available, never judgmental, completely free. You do not need a native speaker. You need a safe space to fail and try again. 3. There are 5 things you can practice with ChatGPT right now. Job interviews. Small talk. Telling your story. Getting corrected in real time. Building vocabulary in real sentences. 4. The system is simple. Open, talk, review. 10 minutes every day. That is all. 5. You have 3 prompts ready to copy tonight. The speaking coach, the situation practice, the vocabulary builder. Paste and start. 6. The mistake that kills progress is waiting. Waiting to feel ready. Waiting to feel confident. Waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. 7. The 30-day challenge starts today. 10 minutes. Every day. 30 days. By the end, you will not recognize your own English. That is the whole system. Not complicated. Not expensive. Not something you need to study for 6 more months before you try. You can start tonight. Here is what I want you to do right now. Open ChatGPT. Paste the speaking coach prompt from Lesson 5. Talk for 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes. That is day 1. And here is what I want you to remember. Not just today, but every day you sit down to practice. Your English will not improve when you find the perfect course. Your English will not improve when you feel ready. Your English will not improve when the time is right. Your English will improve when you open ChatGPT tonight and start talking. Not tomorrow, tonight. The people who become fluent are not the smartest people. They are not the people with the most natural talent. They are the people who showed up every day, even when it was hard, even when they made mistakes, even when progress felt slow. They kept going, and one day, without deciding to, they were fluent. That can be you. It will be you, if you start. Keep listening, keep speaking, and your English will grow every day. If this lesson helped you, please share it with one person who is learning English right now. One person. That is all. You might be the reason their English changes forever. And if you have not subscribed yet, do it now. New English lessons every week, right here. What is the hardest part of speaking English for you? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. See you in the next lesson.